I think one of the main problems is that people want that euphoric high of being the expert and having all of that knowledge instantly, because it's almost like the instant gratification of experience, but experience only comes through time, not so much just boom, it's 2-day shipping, Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to just pop up on your door.
I also think that there's something to be said about like how much it's like painful along the way. Like the more painful it is, the more enjoyable it really is. Like, I don't know, like there've been periods in my life where I've been like laid off from a job or something like that. And like, honestly, there's no worse time in my life because like, sure, I have all the free time and I'm doing the thing that I love. Like I'm spending more time doing jiu-jitsu than ever, or more time hunting than ever because I just have all this free time. But there's nothing like miserable along the way. And because I've already, you know, like gotten better at the hunting by this point in time, or like I'm not getting smashed every single day in jiu-jitsu. So if I don't have something that's just like dreadful to experience during the day, like I don't have that same satisfaction with jiu-jitsu or with hunting, wherever it is. And so to your point about the instant gratification, like if you're just showing up wanting to be good at something, you're not going to experience that true euphoric feeling of like becoming the expert. That's what's fun. Like it's so cliche to say like, oh, it's about the journey, not about the end result. Like, but it's true. Like if you can't find a way to enjoy the ride, like you're going to get to the top of the mountain and just be like, damn, what a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the main elements to any like really good story is you have like order and you have chaos, two different people in any good story. And both characters have a desire. They have something that they want. They have what they want and what they need. What they want is something that's not going to make them a better person, but it's something that like a superficial desire. Something that's like, I want root beer. I want paper. I want a microphone. Then there's also the need, which is something that will make them a better person, but won't be necessarily something that's easy to obtain. It's not something that they want. So to the point of not everyone gets what they want. Like not the instant gratification is that people don't, like for me, I focus on the need. I focus on getting what I need because I know if I get what I need, I'll get what I want. But if I get what I want, I won't get what I need.
It's like drilling instead of rolling. You know, it's like you gotta do what you don't want to do. And that's, yeah, to your point, like if you're just doing the things you want to do, it's just like you might as well be, I don't know, like it's like your diet, like the same way. It's like you can't just eat what you want. You have to supplement with the things that are more important. And the struggle is one of those things.
Yeah, there's a quote. Forgot who it was. I always forget. Every podcast, there's a quote I know, but I forgot who said it. But the thing that will make you a better person is in the work that you're avoiding. Something like that. Something along those lines. It's like if you do what you're avoiding, like the things that you know will make you a better person, but you're avoiding them, you're not going to become that better person. You're just going to become. It's kind of like going back to maintenance. You can maintain yourself, and it could be like an incremental 9%, 10% maintenance. But if you really want to push through that 30%, you're going to do a lot more than just the regular maintenance. And then that new 30% is going to become your baseline. So it's always this like progressional interval. As you become better, it's not going to look like anything changed because almost like kind of like the human eye can only see up to like 2 miles or something like that, 5 miles.
You can see up to 5 miles? That doesn't sound right to me.
You can let's say you are on the top of the earth and you can see the horizon around you. Like that's the furthest your vision is. But the second you start walking, the horizon is starting to come closer on this side and expand on this side. So it's almost like an incremental as you keep going around. So it's like you don't see the progress, but then when you look back at where you were, now you can see, oh, there's been that much progress.
Yeah, I think like that I try and do with any new thing that I do now is just like to that point is like just get 1% better every day. Like I just started a new job. Not gonna name the job because I don't want any trouble there. But it's like very, very different than what I've been doing right now. Like I was in project management. I was working with my hands all day, like with people, not behind a desk, like almost up and moving 100% of the time. This is the exact opposite. It's a sales job, tech sales. So it's just like I'm sitting in front of the computer all day. I don't understand technology at all. Like I do not understand technology at all. The other day I put my browser in like full screen mode and I was just stuck there. I didn't know how to get out of it. I was like a monkey looking at this thing, like trying to, like I was getting ready to shake it and just like throw it on the ground because that's like the gorilla in me was thinking like, just break it. It'll feel better.
it'll fix itself.
Yeah. but I persevered. But the thing is, like, I had to remind myself, because truly this is like a serious challenge for me. Like, I don't understand technology. So every day I'm trying to just like get a 1% better. And guess what? I know how to close out of a full screen browser on a Mac now. I barely knew how to copy and paste on that thing. I learned how to do a bookmark the other day, and I was like, I'm a tech wizard. I was like, people will be calling me for IT support after this. Like,
I highly doubt that.
no, not at all. But like,
I knew how to do that on an iMac G4 back in like 2008.
okay, congratulations on being the biggest dork in the room. Like, I don't care. I don't know how to do tech stuff. But again, I'm just going to apply that same mindset that I've learned through my individual sports now, that I can just get 1% better. I'll get better at it. And by the end of the year, like, I don't know. I'm hoping I'll be able to like
turn off the computer.
Yeah, like restart it or something. Like maybe I'll code something. I don't know. But it's crazy. Like I don't know how I've gotten this far in my life without using technology. Like I think I've been scamming everyone.
You don't need
around
to.
me.
You don't need to.
I think you do. I think I'm really behind the mark. Like I think I'm very much so behind the mark.
A lot of people, at least on behalf of the stupid generation of today, which I can speak behind, a lot of the idiots that I meet are so stuck on technology, depending on technology to make their lives efficient, they don't realize that the best things that they need is outside of the phone. Like a phone, a computer, software is a tool.
Yeah.
It makes people 20 times more efficient, but also there's so many things that are distracting that if you don't like mentally disconnect from, hey, so like whenever I'm doing research or something, I'll take whatever's on my computer or on my phone or whatever, and I'll put it onto a document, and then I'll print out the document and then work it out on paper. So I can switch out from my computer to paper to my computer, and I'll just go through that cycle until I have something new. But I know if I'm always staring at my computer, 60 frames per second, bouncing into my eye, all that blue light, 24/7, or like 7-8 hours a day, that's going to destroy my eyes.
Dude, it's not natural.
It's not.
Well, I mean, we might slowly but surely be evolving for it to become more natural.
It's going to take like a million years.
Yeah, dude, it honestly does scare me. I don't think we can keep going at the rate we're going. Like, I think it's going to get to the point where it's just like too much. I'm already at that point where I feel like it's too much, like genuinely. Like there's certain things that we do where I'm just like, I don't even like going to self-checkout anymore. Like I hate it. Every time I go in there, there's a problem. Like the thing doesn't scan right, or it needs an ID. And I'm like, why am I working for Giant? Like, I feel like I'm the employee, like doing this job, and I'm just frustrated. Instead of just having to have that conversation with the, the cashier and be like, hey, how's your day going? Like so many people are afraid to have that conversation now. And now we've grown away from that, that discomfort. We are working for Giant. And like, I'm tired of it. I don't want to keep doing that. Like,
well, that's why you hunt deer.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I still have to get like milk and stuff though,
Then just get a cow.
I would love to get a cow.
Stuff it in your closet or something.
This is significantly less city somehow than where I grew up. Like, I don't know if it's less city, but it feels like it's a little bit more spread out.
It's like a suburban city.
I'm ready to give all of that up, like the convenience portion of everything, for just a little bit more country life. Like, I'd love to have a cow, chickens, like just do more natural things, because I just can't take this technology stuff anymore. Like,
there's one thing that Dave talked about yesterday, that if you go out of planet Earth and you're looking down from like a satellite point of view, and you're seeing, and it's like it's nighttime on that side of the Earth, and you see all the lights, you're not seeing population density, you're seeing wealth. So all the lights, it could be a very low population density, but there's a lot of money there. And then you see like the Midwest, the Central America, and there's like very few lights, and then you go to California and you can see a lot more lights. And I think it's kind of interesting how the more wealthy a country becomes, the more like spread apart the people become, because they have more of convenience, they have more of the instant gratification, easy. Like you can go on social media and like 4 hours later you have this like dopamine high of just so like cringy TikToks or dogs all the time, and it's like you sap out all that dopamine, and like where can you put that in the real world? Nowhere. So your brain just like, hey, let me go back to social media to get that same dopamine high, and it's like it's this.
Yeah.
It's almost, I think they call it like a dopamine.
It's an addiction. I mean, just like anything else. Like it's like this caffeine. Like it's you're constantly dosing up. You're an addict. Like, and I'm definitely guilty of this. Like I'm an addict 100% on dopamine from my phone, because it's like I get everything that I like want to be doing, I can see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to go to the Alps, you can see that.
Right. It's weird. It's like I can, you know, if it's not hunting season, I can still watch hunting videos. It's like I'm still there, or you know, whatever it is. It's like I'm constantly getting that, but it's like I don't think we've built in our society enough systems to like pull away from that. You know what I mean? Like if I decided right now I'm going to put my phone down, like what am I going to be doing the rest of the time? Because it's not like I can go outside and just talk to a neighbor. I mean, I could, but they'd be like, get away from me, freak. I want to play on my phone. You know what I mean? Like that's what everyone wants to do. So like until like the entire like society wakes up and like people start hanging out outside and like barbecuing outside and just like being more open to those like invitations of being like neighborly and like, you know, friendly again, like we're kind of stuck looking at our phones because it's like, damn it, I don't want to do this, but if everyone else is doing it, what else am I going to do? And now I'm just like participating in the meme culture. That's the only reason I have social media, is to send ridiculous memes to people. Like I don't like it for anything else.
Yeah, that's something I started learning when I started doing the podcast, like over the last couple months, is that kind of like team sports versus single sports, you just can't depend on someone else to be there when you really need it. So like, obviously I don't care about people. I'm pretty sociopathic, other than like one-on-one talks. I'll tell you that. I'll put this live on camera. I'm a sociopath.
Why though? Why do you think you're a sociopath?
Not like a literal sociopath.
No, I know.
But I don't, it's kind of like George Washington's quote, it's better to be alone than to be with bad company. Like I would rather be with myself, go on a walk. One of the episodes I did with Roderick Harris, great guy. One of the things he mentioned was to date yourself, to find out what you like to do, find out what you want to do. Go outside, go for a walk, go to your favorite restaurants, find out what you like to do, and then people would naturally be attracted to that.
Interesting.
Because you'll be so confident in your own skin that people will just be like, oh, this person has their life together. Or not even life together. It's just they have that level of confidence.
I don't think I need to date myself. I think I'm stupid and simple. Like honestly, like I really genuinely mean that.
Well,
Like
it's not like every, like you don't have to literally date yourself. Just
well,
like,
no, I know I'm not gonna be like hooking up with myself later. Like I get that part. I'm not that dumb, but like, you know, like I prefer just like, you know, cheeseburger over it. Like I don't want to try new foods. Like I'm confident in that. You know what I mean?
Find something else you like. If you like going hunting, just sit in a tree for like 10 hours.
I mean, I do that. That is hunting.
I mean, I need to do that. I look like a monkey, so like,
dude,
that
with my
perfect.
ears now, I absolutely look like a monkey.
I can hear everything in like 7-channel Dolby Atmos with like 2 subwoofers.
Damn. Yeah, the other day my back was hurting on the mats, and I was like, I like rolled myself forward and I like had my fists on the ground because I was trying to like do that. And Diego came up to me and he was like, dude, you look like a gorilla right now. You need to stop that. And I was like, it's the only thing that makes my back feel better. I was like, I need a chiropractor. I'm constantly in back pain. Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody today at the 6 a.m. class. It was pretty funny. They were like, it was one of the newer girls. I think her name was Laura or something like that. And I was white belt. And I was complaining about my back. And she was like, oh, you're too young to be complaining about your back. And I was like, I got jiu-jitsu years. Like I was like, you don't understand. Like I've been doing this like enough to the point where I feel like I'm 50 years old. Like, and I know it's all going to come crashing down one day, but whatever. But then she tried to combat it with like, oh, well, I've done parkour for, you know, so many years. And I was like, we are talking about two different things here. Like a jump around the, whatever, like a bicycle ring or whatever they do. I don't know. Is very different than like someone much bigger than you just smashing you. And for most of my jiu-jitsu, I was actually smaller. I was like probably 35 pounds smaller when I started. So I was like 185.
Yeah. One of the most fascinating things is that all the older grapplers, like 50s, 60s, 70s, they're all really youthful.
Oh yeah.
And it fascinates me. I know
Qua, shout out to Qua. I think he's like
almost 50
years old.
Well,
I was like, I thought this guy was 35.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was just like treating him like he wasn't 50 years old. And then I started to feel bad. I was like, Jesus, someone told me like, damn it, like Qua's really like in great shape for being like over 50 or 50 or whatever he is. And I was like, holy shit, I thought he was 35. Like he looks great. And like, to your point, like everybody who does jiu-jitsu, like even though like I was just complaining about like the injuries and all that stuff, like they are like super, super youthful. Like you said, like super athletic still. Like I know 40-year-olds who have trouble, like they're out of breath walking upstairs. And then you look at somebody like Bob and Dave who are also like 40 years old. And it's like, how are you two the same thing as this guy?
I think one of the biggest health concerns right now well, maybe not the biggest, like one of the major problems that are causing a lot of the health problems is people sitting down, because we're not meant to be sitting down for hours at a time. Like I sit down and like I get tired, my legs start getting numb, and then I have to go on the treadmill for like an hour just to walk it off, and even that doesn't get the cortisol levels down. And it's almost like, I mean, jiu-jitsu is great and all, but I feel like if I keep this up, I'm going to be like crippled by the time I turn 25.
So I think the thing is there's like a breakthrough point, which I think happens at brown belt. It's like this stereotype in jiu-jitsu that people talk about all the time, where it's like, you know, blue belts quit, right? Purple belts skip warm-ups. Brown belts are always injured. And then I don't know what they say for black belts. But when I was brown belt, I was getting injured all the time because I was like, I think when you get to that level, and I don't mean like time or like skill. I really mean like experience, like time on the mats. Like I think that's when your body is like, we can't do this anymore. Like we continue this, we're gonna break. But if you push beyond that, that's where I feel like you reach this like promised land of I'm not gonna say injury free because I'm sure they still happen all the time. But like as soon as I broke through that, the injuries were less and less. And like I still have back pain. I still have like little things that nag me here and there. But knock on wood, like I haven't had any like major problems since. And so I think sometimes you just have to push through that hill, and eventually the injuries will stop. So like don't ever quit because you think like you're not gonna be able to walk when you're 45 or whatever it is. Like there's plenty of people who are still doing it. Like look at Jeff Thomas, like guy's a killer. I don't know how old he is, but
He's older than me.
Older than me, yeah.
Older than probably both of us combined.
I don't know. I don't want to put Jeff on the spot like that. I don't know. I really don't. But actually, you're probably right. I think we could definitely agree that he's over, like, 50.
I'll make a short out of this specifically just so he can see it.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one, I don't know if it was David Goggins or some like fitness, like big fitness person, that once you like when you're doing like a workout, like running, weights, whatever you're training, and you get to the point where you're like, I need to stop, you're only 60% done. Like there's another, like you have another 40% to actually, until you're actually done. And I would go on the treadmill for I usually walk. I love walking outside, going to the forest, just walking next to like the Algonquin Regional Park, just walking right next to the Potomac. It's so relaxing. The white noise and everything. It's beautiful.
You ever go fishing over there?
I don't know how to fish.
We can teach you how to fish.
Yeah, well,
I learned how to fish this summer, honestly. Another shout out to Ed. Now he really did like teach me how to fish, and it was awesome. It was like the best thing that I could ever done. It was like my connection with the outdoors during the summer had been restored. It's so much fun. And you can still do that, like hiking through the trails to get to your fishing spot. It's very similar. So we'll teach you how to fish.
Yeah. And then I went on I like the last 4 or 5 weeks, I've barely walked. Like my phone is like, dude, you need to walk more. And then I went on the treadmill, and the first 30 minutes, I was almost out of breath. I was like sweating, like I have my jacket on, but still I started to sweat. And then I kept going and going. 2 miles in, I felt like this was a breeze. I don't know what I was complaining about at half a mile. And it just becomes like that level of resistance, just push through that because I know it's something good for me. It just becomes so much easier because my brain's like, okay, I can't resist this anymore.
Yeah, it's like your body wants to quit as soon as it can. Like as soon as it can.
That comfort level.
Yeah, if you, like but it's weird that like genetically we're not programmed to want to push past that. Like we're like, it's almost like we're all natural quitters, which is a weird thing because like we've made it this far. Like survival mode, like, but we want to quit so easily. I don't know why that is.
Or it might be like settling. Like we weren't probably built to be always exploring, to always keep pushing past, to like finally settle, farm, to have a community.
I also wonder if it's something that is just like you don't need to be running, so your body knows that, and it's like, why am I running? It might be like an energy like conservation thing where it's like, I mean, I'm just guessing. Like I am as dumb as shit when it comes to like all this stuff. Yeah, but if I'm thinking about it out loud here, like it might just be one of those things where it's like you're just saving you're just saving your body energy, and that's why you want to quit because it's not a need. But I guarantee you, if you had your child or your pet or something stuck under a car and you couldn't lift it, that's why people are able to do that because it's like that's that need. Your brain decided that it needed that. So it's like you constantly have to trick your brain to be like, we need this.
I think we're thinking about the same story. The woman whose son was underneath a car.
I don't think that story's real. I don't know why. I just don't think that that story is real because I think we would talk about it more and I think that we would know her name. Like, look it up after this. Like, pull up another link or something. I don't know if you know how to merge that because I'm not a tech guy. I know you are. But, like, that story can't be real. How many stories do you think there are out there right now?
A lot.
Well,
A lot.
yes.
A lot.
But things that we tell people as fact that just aren't. Like, you know that story about the woman spilling the hot coffee on herself? And, like, that's why there's, like, that suing culture. Apparently it was, like, a legitimate case. But my entire life, I just thought it was just some lady being a trying to make some extra money. Like, it's really what I thought.
Oh, I'm gonna have to bleep out so many parts of this.
Yeah, don't bleep it out. Let the people hear it. This is a PG-13 plus audience for sure.
I don't mind swear. I don't mind like other people swearing. I just wouldn't swear myself. So I'll probably.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best not to swear. I think I've only sworn like 3 or 4 times, which is pretty good.